I told my mama we gon' get a couple bands. I'm out here working while you posting on the ground. I don't need no one to tell me what I am. I just wing it and it still follow the plan. Got it.
Bryant dives in.
A community challenge right here on 2K TV.
Last weekend, I was honored to be invited into a legendary all-star team-up with top NBA 2K influencers and streamers.
You filthy, bro!
It was an epic show, and if you weren't one of the nearly 1 million to watch it live, we've captured all the action.
Oh, man.
Let's go, baby. Check back next week for the full story.
Come on!
What's up, everybody? It's Robbie, and I've got some My Team tips for you today. Let's get into some triple threats, online and offline. Which one's best for you? Well, both of them if you do them the way that you have fun. How do you have fun? Use cards that you enjoy. I can't emphasize this enough. With how short triple threat online and offline games take time-wise, it's important to enjoy yourself. That's why we all play video games. I use lineups that don't necessarily include the best players in the game at the time, but I use players that I enjoy playing with. That's what I do offline. When we're talking online, everybody's bringing their best three. So I think there's a little bit of diversity that's needed when it comes to building a successful online team. You want to have a good defender. I use guys like the Prime VIP Amethyst Evolution to Diamond, Bruce Bowen. Everybody wants to bring firepower offensively. You can change people up and mess their strategy up by having a lockdown god like Bowen on your squad. In addition, you want to make sure that you have a versatile big man. One of the player cards that I think falls under the radar sometimes as a budget card is the Rafe LaFrentz card from the Lights Out set earlier this year. He's an evolution card, and even if you don't involve him all the way, he can run the pick and pop very well offensively, still protect the paint defensively as well as rebounding, and it's just a good all-around card. In addition, while you're playing those online games, you can work on the stats required for his evolution and kind of double dip. Another tip to remember is there are no position locks in triple threat online and offline. I want you to use that to your advantage. In my lineup that I've given you, I have a big man and a small forward that can also guard anything on the wing. So I'm gonna pick a point guard. You guys don't necessarily have to. My Diamond Spotlight Reward, Steve Francis, is a great card. It can drive and dunk, but he also has playmaking ability. And if you get into the paint and kick it out to either a Bowen or a LaFrentz, you've got an easy cash money three-pointer if they bring the help. And don't forget the limited time events. If you see one available for triple threat offline or online, well, you've got a direction for that day because you can get bonuses to your MT, to your vault openings, and to your tokens, among other things. So looking for the limited time events and double dipping with the evolution cards, you can make a lot of progress in the mode in a short amount of time and earn some MT and tokens. The difference between offline and online play may be big when it comes to triple threat, but I really like both modes, and I think it's a good idea to dip your toe in either one. Maybe practice a lot of triple threat offline and then make your way into online. 3-on-3 basketball is much different than 5-on-5, so you may like a different set of 3 players than maybe your 13-player unlimited lineup. I personally run completely different players in my unlimited lineup so that I can have more of an idea of what to use in each mode. So that's triple threat online and offline in a nutshell. Let me know what you guys think, and of course, I want to hear your best 3. Hit me up in that Ask a Dev section. You can tweet the My Team handle or my Twitter as well. I would love to know what 3 you guys are running in triple threat offline and online. Till next time, see you in the next one.
I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. Yep. I'ma need you to back up. Spilling the tea, stirring the cup. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. Yep. I'm in the 7.
Are setting tonight with the lights of downtown Atlanta shining in the background. And you've got it on 2K Sports for Wednesday night action in the NBA. Kevin Harlan with you, joined by Doris Burke, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge reporting courtside. And here's a look at some numbers for Gallinari.
And guys, for a measure of how he's performing offensively, look no further than the true shooting percentage. There's been a steady drop in his last 5 games, and he's got to be scrambling now to get that feel back.
So here's Oklahoma City's starting group. Robertson and Gallinari at the small and power forward positions. Chris Paul is out there with Gilgeous-Alexander, and it's Adams in at the 5. And for Atlanta, Young and Herter make up the backcourt. Hunter at the 3 with Collins at the 4. And it's Capella in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Inching our way toward the end of the season here in the NBA, Doris, and just how much fatigue after all these games and all these months and practices and travel, how much fatigue are these players feeling, you think, right now?
Well, I think NBA players like to tell us, come March, come April, everybody has bumps and bruises. No one is 100%. What you're hoping to do as an NBA organization is manage the rest that you can possibly give to your guys down the stretch of the season, because the healthier you are going into the postseason, the better off you're going to be.
Now, here is Young following the shot by Chris Paul. And Young kicks to Capella. Shot clock at 6. Collins passes to Herter. From outside, off the mark. The Atlanta Hawks coming to this one after the win against the Pelicans in New Orleans. First quarter of play, 1 minute played. Gallinari finds Adams. From 11 feet away, Gallinari trying to get open. Misses off the right iron. Here's Herter. Gilgeous-Alexander covering. Passes to Capella. Young against Paul. Pulls up on the elbow. Second shot opportunity. Good work there as it goes. Capella's got the game going with his first points of the game for the Hawks.
And both teams here early on just a bit sluggish. It took what seemed like forever for that first basket to fall.
Now here's Paul. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Grizzlies in Memphis.
Well, you also have to credit the way he controlled the pace of the game and was able to create for his teammates. Well, the defense clearly was not interested in guarding him from downtown. They're very fortunate he missed.
Rebound, Atlanta.
And this is a shot he can definitely make, and the defense not a factor at all.
It's Young on the wing. Adams defending. That one goes. Count it. Capella's got his second bucket tonight.
You just can't leave anyone open around Young. He's very capable of spotting his uncovered teammates.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder.
And with their offense sputtering, coaches got to get them back on track.
And to me, they're just taking too many tough shots. And when they do get an easy one, the confidence just isn't there.
Get a break in the action, so let's take a look at the West and how the teams are stacking up. Look at Oklahoma City. They're trying to get in the playoffs here. If they stay the course, they will.
And when I look at Oklahoma City, they've stayed right there, just in sniffing distance of the conference leaders. That's a solid accomplishment at this stage of the season.
Yeah, even so, though, I'm sure they're not satisfied just being near the top of the standings. They're going to be looking to make a major push as the season winds down.
Now, here's Gilgeous Alexander. His last outing, 16 points for him.
Well, that's a nice play. You've got to read the situation and go to your floater game when necessary.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, I briefly spoke with Lloyd Pierce. One player he mentioned was Chris Paul. Coach said he is just a gamer. He'll do whatever it takes to win. And we've got to have that same determination. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, David. On the wing, Robertson. Back to Paul. Over Young. Collins grabs the miss.
And they're 1 of 5 to start this game. Just really haven't gotten into a flow offensively.
And the last 2 drafts, the Atlanta Hawks aggressively making trades to assemble this roster.
And drafting DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish, great length and versatility on the wings. You pair that with Trae Young and John Collins, and that's an exciting young core for the Hawks.
Now, here's Hunter. He picked up 15 points in their last win against New Orleans.
And let's not forget about the assists. This guy is a playmaker, was a driving force for that offense.
Here's Herter. Lob pass to Capella. Doesn't get it to drop for him.
And he saw the play develop, but the pass just wasn't there.
It was a really good thought for sure, but the lob has got to be better than that.
Here's Herter. Gilgeous Alexander covering. The pass to Hunter. Left side, Collins. The Hawks need to get off a shot here. Herter, no good. Thunder trailing by 4.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Gallinari down low. Young's there. And Gallinari kicks to Robertson. And Capella sends it back. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Thunder will retain possession. Here's Gilgeous Alexander. Scoring-wise, he's definitely making his mark. Right now, he's averaging about 19 points a game. Here's Hunter. Pass to Capella. Now Young. The 3. Gallinari with the rebound. Pass to Gilgeous Alexander. Fires the 3. And Chris Paul gets the 3.
And Paul has a beautiful stroke from deep. A gifted shooter who drains perimeter shots with consistency.
Young finds Capella. Back to Young. And he converts the layup.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
And so it's Paul with it, bringing it up for Oklahoma City. They trail by 3. Rebounded by the Hawks.
Boy, a tough go for him in this quarter. You can see how desperately he wants to get things started. He just can't make a shot.
Now, here is Young. He picked up 21 points in their last win against New Orleans.
And don't forget about his assists. His playmaking was as good or better than his scoring. He was in complete control out there.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Paul passes to Adams. Fader on the way. It's hauled in by Clint Capella. Capella's got rebound number 5 here tonight. And as it goes out of bounds, Atlanta able to keep the ball here.
And now let's take a moment to check out the stats for John Collins. He's been dominant over the last month, averaging 22 points per, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists.
And what is crazy is that these numbers might not even do his game justice. He's been phenomenal.
Feels like every night this guy does something that just blows your mind. So fun to watch, someone the other players look up to.
Frozen. The guy is just ice cold, unable to contribute offensively.
Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. And it's Hunter with the jam.
Solid in transition. Hunter's eyes light up when he gets a chance to finish one of those off.
Gilgeous-Alexander kicks to Gallinari. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. Here's Adams, and a great assist by Paul as that one goes in.
You know, being that wide open sometimes leads to a miss, but that fadeaway was money.
Young finds Capella. And here's Young. Back to Collins. Passes it to Capella. 6 to shoot. Young with no one around. The three-pointer no good.
Nothing seems to be going his way this quarter.
Well, not at the offensive end, certainly. He cannot buy a bucket right now.
Now, here's Robertson. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Picked his pocket. Here's Herter. Puts up a three. That's in for the first basket of the game after 3 attempts.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. Of course, you and I were just talking about this as more and more players are going public with their trade requests. Do you think that's had a negative impact on the game?
Well, Kevin, I certainly think it makes long-term planning for NBA franchises a lot more difficult because contractually we are not seeing them hold true to the particular organization they may have signed that contract with. The reality is this in today's NBA. You've got to be nimble as an organization, and you have got to be attractive to them. And I mean that with great ownership, great leadership, and who are the players currently in your system. You have got to be incredibly nimble to be successful in today's NBA.
I think you're right on. And a new group in here for the Thunder. Nerlens Noel checks in for Adams. Muscala comes in for Robertson. Terrence Ferguson's checked in for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Chris Paul. Now, here is Gallinari. 11 points for him in that last game against the Grizzlies in Memphis.
You know what else impressed me? How infectious his tenacity was. Simply a wrecking ball on the boards, collected huge amounts of rebounds. What a terrific play by just a tremendous all-around player. This guy makes it look easy.
Here's Bembry, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. Teague with a clean look. No good on the three.
All the time in the world to get that one off.
Here's Schroeder. And yes, it's good. Now just a 2-point Hawks lead.
Well, Schroeder is 6'1" with a thin frame, but make no mistake, he's got balance and the ability to play through contact.
And Teague, here we go. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
Schroeder with the ball. 26 points for him last game against Memphis.
And don't forget the sensational plays he made out there. He saw the court so well, firing perfect passes to teammates for wide open shots.
Now here's Teague after the miss from Dennis Schroeder. The pass to Hunter. Here's Jones. He kicks it to Hunter. Pass to Teague. Shot clock at 5. Over Gallinari. That one a little long. Thunder trailing by 4. Here's Ferguson. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Gallinari in the corner. And the Thunder another 3.
Well, for a big man, his stroke is just beautiful. And because of the height, it's so hard to challenge.
Teague up top. He's guarded by Schroeder. And the rejection by Noel.
We know Noel is a superb shot blocker. It may be his best attribute, Kevin.
Schroeder looking around. It's Noel atop the key. There's the dish to Gallinari. A minute 20 left in the first quarter of the game. No luck that time on the shot that would have put them on top. And there's Hunter on the assist by Teague. And the Hawks lead by 3.
Well, a point guard must understand window of opportunity, and Jeff Teague specializes in exactly that.
And Gallinari kicks to Ferguson. Back to Gallinari. Jacks up a 3. And Jones pulls it down. The Hawks leading by 3. 41 seconds left in the first quarter. Outside Teague. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's going to be on Nerlens Noel. And doors for Jeff Teague. He's not expected to be the scorer on this team that he once was.
And for Teague, to me, that is a blessing, as he is much better suited as a distributor of the basketball. He's got great vision, he cut down on his turnovers, and therefore his assist numbers increased.
Free throw good, Teague.
Well, the Thunder begin on the defensive end of the floor. This is a team whose formula is to force a ton of turnovers, come up with steals, get out in transition. Last year, 4th in the league in defensive rating.
Labissiere's checked in for Atlanta. And so Teague hits 2 free throws.
You want to contest this guy's shot, but you absolutely don't want to send him to the line. He will make you pay.
Here's the lob to the hoop. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. It's through for a second basket. He's now 2 for 6.
Well, you can just see Jeff Teague oozes confidence anytime he's got to use the dribble drive. I love watching him do that.
Schroeder against Teague. To the wing on the left. Ferguson for 3. No good. And we reach the end of the first quarter. Hawks lead by 7. We'll be back shortly live from State Farm Arena. Chris Paul talks about the matchups he faces at the point guard.
The toughest position in the NBA night in and night out is the point guard position. You know, every night you look at the board, the coach is pretty much going to say, their team goes as such and such goes. You know what I mean? So that's the toughest part, and that's probably the funnest part, too, because it's competition.
And CP3, one of the most competitive players in the game.
It's an obsession with him, and you can see how hard he gets after it every time he takes the court.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And for the Hawks guys, what stands out to you stats-wise?
Well, credit their anticipation skills on the defensive end. They forced a number of turnovers.
And a few of those led to quick scores at the other end. Really active first quarter for them.
On the floor for Oklahoma City, getting going here in the second quarter. A perimeter tandem, Ferguson and Gallinari. Mike Muscala out there with Noel. And it's Schroeder in at the point guard. Now, here is Gallinari. Clock at 4. Can't connect from 13 feet out. Here's Bembry. Pass to Teague. Takes a 3. Rebound by Muscala.
I'll tell you, it has not been this guy's best night, but the teammates have been there to pick up the slack. Love it.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, the Hawks said they were going to be patient when they rebuilt their team, and they were going to do it through the draft, and they've stuck to that script. Now, Trae Young is probably the biggest name, but Atlanta's added a lot of great young talent the last 3 years. There's John Collins, Kevin Huerter, and in 2019, the Hawks added 3 more good young players in the draft: DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish, and Bruno Fernando. Things are looking up in Atlanta.
I would think so, too. On paper, it looks good. We'll see if it materializes. D.A., thank you as always. A nice shot by Teague.
Well, you simply cannot allow Jeff Teague any separation because the release is too good and too fast.
It's stolen by Teague. He dishes it to Hunter. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. That one on Gallinari.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
The Hawks have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
The first free throw is good. George, what's the best combination of inside-outside basketball you see offensively now?
Well, 2 guys really come to mind immediately for me. It's Joel Embiid and Anthony Davis, because both men can face up and knock down shots in a legitimate enough fashion that you've got to get out and contest those guys. But the other side of this is they can play in the post and be a legitimate back-to-the-basket force who you've got to guard with more than one guy. I mean, how exciting, Kevin, are Joel and AD to watch play?
They are thrilling. I would agree.
An athletic forward with a versatile skill set. Hunter has also proven he can come up big in big moments.
Now here's Teague. 8 points for him. Pass to Fernando. Here's Bembry. He's covered by Noel. Bembry kicks to Teague. 5 to shoot. Shoots over Schroeder. Atlanta again missing. Thunder trailing by 8. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. T right on him. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Here's the teardrop. And the layup good by Hunter. Hunter's got the lead up to 10 now for the Hawks.
Well, the touch and the focus. What a pretty move in the lane.
Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Muscala. Over Labissiere. And Labissiere sends it back.
And like how aggressive Labissiere is on defense, using that wide frame to turn back shots.
And Gilgeous-Alexander's got the ball here for Oklahoma City. Yep, it counts. Schroeder's got his second basket of the night.
Great finish. What a setup. Terrific ball movement there.
And the pass to Hunter. Bembry kicks to Teague. Here's Hunter. It's rebounded by Schroeder.
You know, not sure if he's playing to the crowd, but no need for the fadeaway on that shot.
Pass to Muscala. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. That shot is off. So the Hawks will take it the other way. The Wizards on the road to face them after this game. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home. Now here's Teague. 8 points for him. Floats one. The shot, no good. Great D that time from Dennis Schroeder. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Pass to Noel. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot. And that one's good. Schroeder.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks.
Every timeout, a chance to review the lineups, matchups, or call a play.
And the guys get a little bit of a break, mentally, physically, just recharge here quickly.
A different look for Oklahoma City. Adams, he's checked in for Mike Muscala. Robertson comes in for Terrence Ferguson. And it's Paul in for Dennis Schroeder. And Young kicks to T. And it's slammed in by Teague.
Oh, my goodness. If you don't get in front of Jeff Teague, he's going to throw it down off that dribble drive.
Now Paul. He's been putting up the points on a very steady basis, averaging around 17.5 points a game. Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession. Here's what the Hawks have lined up on their schedule. On Friday, they'll go up against Bradley Beal and the Washington Wizards. And then on Saturday, they'll be facing Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers.
And for that matchup with the Kings, it's going to be an all-out battle. And you just hope they are rested and able to execute their game plan, as it's going to be a tremendous challenge.
Now here's Teague. He's got 10 from deep three-point range. They get it back.
And that's a pure hustle play, getting to the offensive glass for the tip-in.
And that's the kind of quality you see in any strong offensive rebounder, isn't it? Here's Paul. Over Collins. That's good, and the Atlanta lead is cut down now to just 8 on the basket from Paul.
And oozing with confidence right now. Paul makes plays off the bounce that others can't.
Young softly drops in the floater. Young's got his second bucket of the night.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
Now here's Paul. He's got 5. That's a good shot, and now he's 3 for 7.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
The Hawks leading by 8. Or as you think about the anchor of this team, Steven Adams just holds it down in the middle.
Oh, Steven Adams does so much, but it all starts on the defensive end with this guy. He takes away so much space on the interior. He is commanding on the backboards. He contests shots. Everything you could hope for, Steven Adams brings.
Off the inbound, Adams gets a hand on it.
Well, so good at anticipating when shots are going to go up. Steven Adams, terrific protecting the basket.
Teague at the elbow. 6 on the shot clock. Young from outside, and the 3 ball is good. Young's got the lead up to 11 now for the Hawks.
And this is why Young is so dangerous. He just gets that shot off so fast before the defense can react.
Now here's Paul. He's got 7. Here's Adams. Dishes it to Noel. And Capella sends it back. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Noel. As we get a break in the action now, let's take a look at the East and how the teams are stacking up. Taking a look at Atlanta. It's been a rough season for them. The good news is the lottery is only a couple months away.
And I think for the Hawks, they've had such a disappointing season.
even when they've gotten a little bit of momentum, they haven't been able to keep it going.
It just feels like they're sputtering right now. Every time you think they've turned the corner, they really haven't.
And Young, here we go. He doesn't hit that one. Some solid D from Paul. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Rebounded by the Hawks. Their last meeting was in Oklahoma City, where they were unable to fight off the Thunder.
Yeah, I remember last time they met up, they just got ran out of the building. They weren't too happy with some of the calls in that game either.
Yeah, their starters got into foul trouble, and it felt as if some of the calls were ticky-tack, no doubt, but nonetheless, damage was done.
Thunder trailing by 11. Paul outside. Over Collins. Paul with the bucket. Paul's got 9.
Yeah, he's like a magician out there. Paul shows you only what he wants you to see, then he hits you with the reveal.
And stolen by Noel. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. The Thunder shooting their first free throws of the evening.
And how about as a group, 80% on the season, one of their best attributes.
Under 6.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. Doris, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcasting?
Kevin, my first experience was I left coaching, and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people that were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the baseline.
Amazing.
Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment. And I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
Remember it very well.
Incredible.
Very well.
And after nailing a three-pointer in the first quarter, he has yet to connect here in the second.
Gallinari outside. Ball against T. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And again, no good by Oklahoma City. The Hawks leading by 7. Passes it to Herter. To the paint. And stolen by Robertson. There's the feed to Paul. And Capella sends it back. Here's Herter. Defended by Robertson. Back to Herter. And there's the pass to Capella. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. You know, Greg, for the Thunder fans, hard to see their star power dwindle, but they got a lot in return.
Yeah, but the Thunder were capped out. They hadn't made it past the first round in 3 years. And in exchange for Paul George, they got one of the richest trade packages in league history.
That one is off. Jones checked in for John Collins. And he's good on the second. And so here is Oklahoma City. 8-point game. They'll host the Denver Nuggets after this one. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Pulls it from the elbow. And Jones sends it back. Paul against Young. Kicks it to Capella. And here's Jones. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Clock at 6. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Hawks will retain possession.
A split second late, but almost came up with a steal there.
Absolutely appreciate the effort, though. He really went after it. So close.
Dennis Schroeder's checked in for the Thunder. Young, a good look. Knocks it loose. Herter passes to Capella. Teague dishes to Young. Back to Teague. Pass to Capella. 6 on the shot clock. Second chance shot. And Herter gets it to go. Herter's got 5 points so far.
Well, 9 times out of 10, that probably is a miss, but somehow he finds a way.
Adams finds Schroeder. And again, no good by Oklahoma City.
Boy, he won't miss many from that spot. The defense gets lucky there.
Great teamwork, punctuated by a strong finish.
Going right to the rim, which is where you want transition opportunities to end.
Now here's Paul. He's got 9. He feeds it to Gallinari, right wing. Paul with the ball. Adams outside. From deep. Rebounded by the Hawks. Capella's got the glass covered here tonight. 11 boards for him. And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Atlanta making some changes. Labissiere comes in for Clint Capella. And DeAndre Bembry's subbed in for Teague. And then for Oklahoma City, Mike Muscala comes in for Andre Robertson. And Ferguson subbed in for Paul. There's 45 seconds left now here in the second. Outside, Jones. Pass to Herter. 6 to shoot. Here's Bembry. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Steven Adams picks one up.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
Atlanta shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here.
DeAndre Bembry. 2 shots.
He's off on the first. Hunter's checked in for the Hawks. That one is no good. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And Trae Young gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. And so it's Oklahoma City with it. Down by 12. Schroeder, right side. Rejected by Jones. Here's Young. He has 7. And Jones slams it in.
And how about the awareness Hunter possesses? Understands when one of his guys has an opportunity.
Now here's Schroeder. Oh, he nailed it.
Yes. Wow. And it counts. Oh, beats the buzzer from way down court. These fans are stunned.
And we've finished one half of basketball. The Hawks on top. They're up by 11. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thank you. Jeff, you guys had a great first half. Is the key to the second half to continue to be that aggressive?
Yeah, we got to play defense. They're a really good team. They're going to play hard. They're real physical. We just got to come out and keep guarding.
Jeff, thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show. Hey again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. Shaq is here. Kenny's here. You're watching the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. After 2 quarters, it's Atlanta out in front. They lead by 11. And Shaq, what'd you see from Atlanta?
I don't think anyone expected to see such numbers from the bench. You know, I'm impressed. It was what they needed, the jolt they needed, Ernie. Wow, I never knew their bench. As a matter of fact, I don't even know any of their players coming off the bench. Man, keep going, bench guys.
And over to Kenny. Your thoughts on the Thunder?
They're being far less aggressive than they ought to be. The free throw differential is huge right now. It's threatening to determine the outcome of the game. So they have to get into the lane and challenge defenders to make them try to stop you.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take you down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my main man, Joel.
Joel, what up?
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. It's been one outstanding game from Jeff Teague.
And those extra chances mean so much. And he has shaped the game with the way he's been pulling down those offensive boards.
Really putting his handprint on this game. You love the hustle, you love the work ethic he has had on display.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. And here's Young. He'll bring it up for the Atlanta Hawks. They've led by as many as 14 points. While we've got a moment, let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. And so in the game for the Hawks, Herter the 2 with Hunter at the 3. Clint Capella is out there with John Collins. And it's Young in at the point guard position. Kicks it out to Paul. Passes it to Robertson. Now, here is Gallinari. Just 5 on the clock. And it's Gilgeous-Alexander in the corner. Shoots it up. Here's Adams. Good on the shot, and that shaves the lead to single digits. Adams has got his second basket.
Boy, the strength and the activity of Steven Adams makes him a force on the backboards.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Kevin, when Trae Young was in college, he was known for his long-range shooting. But Young says, the people who know me best know that I'd rather get an assist than any other stat. I pride myself on making the right play. Knowing your teammates get joy and excitement from playing with you is all I care about. Kevin?
That's great to see. Thank you, D.A.
Boy, that makes him 0 for 3 to start the second half. Not the start you were hoping for here.
And he drops in the layup off the glass. Adams has got 4 points now in the quarter.
This guy is used to drawing contact. Adams outworks and out-hustles anyone in his way.
Herter passes to Young. Goes up on the wing, and that's good for 2. Young's got 9.
Well, their first basket in 4 tries. Can that trigger a little bit of good shooting here? We'll find out.
Paul outside. It's hauled in by Clint Capella. Capella's got rebound number 12 now. Tenacity on the glass. And Young kicks to Capella. The Hawks working the ball around. Now, here's Hunter. Defended by Robertson. Young for 3. Drills it from outside. And now a 10-point Hawks lead.
And the touch Young has from beyond the arc, he is almost unguardable from there.
Adams against Capella. And that one drops. And it's 8 points for Steven Adams.
The defense making it way too easy for him on that jump shot. He'll take that all night.
Young dishes to Collins. Lobbed up there for Collins. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. Now, here is Gallinari. 7 points in the game. Rebounded by Capella. Capella's got 13 rebounds in the game. Class eating. Here's Herder. Gilgeous Alexander covering. Young passes to Capella. Back to Young. From past the arc. He can't get that one to fall. Now Oklahoma City takes it the other way. Now here's Robertson. Defense right on him. Paul against Young. Now Paul. 9 points in the game so far. Now the pass to Gilgeous Alexander. No good with the triple. The Hawks leading by 10. And that one's good. Hunter.
And what I admire about Hunter is that opportunistic attitude. This kid just makes things happen.
To the inside. Paul dishes to Gallinari. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
First trip to the line for him here. That free throw good from Gallinari. Both teams deciding to change it up. Gallinari hits them both.
Boy, a really soft touch on display. It is a luxury to have a big man who can hit from the line at a consistent rate.
Young passes to Herder. Here's Hunter. And here's Collins. Some stats for him. He averages over 21 points a game.
An effective multi-dimensional scorer. Young is incredible at turning on the Jets when he's feeling.
Now here's Paul. It's a 13-point game. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Shots good from Young.
Well, they're leading in large part because of the work he's put in this quarter. This is nicely done.
Paul with the ball. 9 points in the game so far. Pass to Gilgeous Alexander. Shot clock at 6. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. He lays it in. Gilgeous Alexander's got his 3rd basket of the night.
If you give him an inch of space, he's going to make you pay.
Pass to Fernando. He kicks to Hunter. Herder passes to Fernando. Back to Herder. Shoots from the baseline. And again, it's Atlanta.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Thunder trailing by 15.
They call him Red Velvet. Kevin Huerter, out of the University of Maryland, proved he can stripe it from day one.
Inside, Fernando. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. And the Hawks lead by 17. Paul looking around. Here's the lob to Adams, and Adams with the slam. That gives him a double-double in this one. 10 points and 13 rebounds.
Well, simply put it in the vicinity of Steven Adams, and his great hands makes that dunk look easy.
And Greg Herder, the 19th pick back in 2018, sweet touch and at 6'7". Good size at the shooting guard position.
And the Hawks general manager, Travis Schlenk, coming from the Warriors, with Trae Young and Kevin Huerter, the Hawks hoping they have a kind of Splash Brothers East.
So it's the Hawks now, following the shot by Chris Paul. Here's Herter. He's got 7. For Atlanta, they have gone just 4 of 8 from the line tonight, hoping to move that free throw percentage up a bit.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First one falls for him. Of course, we know historically the Celtics, the only franchise to ever have a four-peat, 4 straight championships. Do you think at some point we're going to see another?
I'm not sure there can be in today's NBA, Kevin, and there are a number of different contributing factors. Number one, the salary cap implications that happen. Number 2, look at the Golden State Warriors, who were well positioned for a three-peat. And yet, as you know, luck plays a small part in an NBA championship. Luck relative to injuries. You see Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant both get lost in the midst of an NBA Finals. This is it's challenging enough to go back-to-back. Forget about four-peat.
The shot's good. Schroeder's got 11 points.
Well, Dennis Schroeder taking advantage of the pick-and-roll action. Very good decision maker.
Teague, the pass to Fernando. Here's Herter. Passes to Jones. 5 on the clock. Down low. Bembry's shot good. And the Hawks lead by 17.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Now here's Schroeder. He's got 11. Here's Ferguson. And Jones sends it back. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Here's Teague. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And now let's see who the NBA's hottest shooters have been in the second half of the season. In the 3rd spot, Steven Adams.
His touch around the bucket has been outstanding. I mean, he has missed very few of the good looks he's gotten.
Shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one.
Well, Jeff Teague is a very capable scorer from the lead guard position. He plays with a high motor. He can make shots. This guy is very good at the point.
Atlanta making a switch here. Labissiere's checked in. And so Teague hits 2 free throws.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
Now here's Schroeder. He's guarded closely. And Adams with the slam.
Well, Steven Adams is not the top of the list in terms of your scouting report, but you better be prepared because this guy can get rolling.
Jones kicks to Teague. And that comes off the assist by Jones. 18 points for Jeff Teague.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
Greg, to me, this is simply stated been a complete lack of defensive attention and focus all night long.
Now here's Schroeder. He's got 11. Here's Ferguson. And Jones sends it back. And they'll keep possession. And he recovers it. Up again. Missed it. Even after all those chances. The Hawks leading by 19. Labissiere in the corner. At the elbow, Jones. Chalk up 2 there.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
And the question they're going to have to answer to me is it a problem with the scheme or is it a problem with matchups?
And the Hawks making a change here. Hunter's checked in.
And here are the numbers for Hunter. This past month, he's really set himself apart, getting around 12 points a game, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. Well, fans of this team will take this kind of production from him without hesitation.
I'll tell you, he has been a solid contributor. They have called his number, and he has delivered for them.
And he gets the bucket. Denver's got his second basket of the game.
Yeah, that's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Paul against T. Shoots from 14. Count the baskets. And that's 11 points for Chris Paul.
Well, this guy plays with such confidence and an ability to score in a variety of ways. Nice.
Teague, the pass to Hunter. To the middle. And it's Hunter with the jam.
And boy, when Hunter's aggressive, good things seem to happen for him and his team.
And so it's Paul with it, bringing it up for the Thunder. There's the pass to Schroeder. Up top, Adams. And Jones sends it back.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, this guy has been efficient and effective all night. That IQ has been on display.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Now, here's Hunter. He's got 13. And no good. Adams, some nice D. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Schroeder. That shot off. Atlanta's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. Teague against Paul. Good work defensively by Paul.
And you know, you can't impact a shot that close any better than he did on that possession.
Boy, whether he blocks it or simply alters it, the result is pretty much the same.
And so it's Atlanta riding high with a 23-point lead heading into the break. They've had active hands and have forced a lot of turnovers in this one. We'll return shortly. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
And when you're the beneficiary of a pass that good, you better deliver, and he did just that.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. So the Thunder 5 right now. Dennis Schroeder is out there with Paul. Then there's Andre Robertson. And then there's Steven Adams. And it's Muscala in at the 4 slot. Yep, that one goes.
And you like to see since the half now, he's finally starting to come around.
The Hawks leading by 21. Outside Teague. Now Jones. And here's Young from the arc. And that comes off the assist by Jones. Jones has got 3 assists tonight. Thunder have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Young against Paul. Feeds to Adams. Good work defensively by Capella.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
It's stolen by Adams. They push it up 4 on 3. Here's Schroeder. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him.
Boy, not many players in the league who are going to be faster than Dennis Schroeder in the open floor.
Pass to Capella. The Hawks working the ball around. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a 3-point play.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Doris, in 2004, the Charlotte Bobcats became the NBA's 30th team. When do you think we're going to see another team added, whether it's an expansion or even multiple expansion cities?
Well, let's go directly to the most important source, and that's Commissioner Adam Silver, who has said that expansion is inevitable, but right now not a huge priority. So, you know, listen, we've heard Seattle is on the short list of cities that wants to get a team, and what a great city, what a great NBA fan base. I hope someday we get back to Seattle.
So much history up there. You're correct. Free throw no good for Capella. Doris Adams, a terrific player on the floor, but you know what? He's a great teammate as well. They always talk about the great chemistry he brings to the Thunder.
And anyone who's had a conversation with Steven Adams knows he is quite a character. This guy is so easygoing. He's fun. I think he brings a great vibe to the locker room.
John Collins, he's checked in for Jones. And a switcher also for Oklahoma City. Gallinari, he's checked in for Steven Adams. And so it's Teague with it. He'll bring it up for the Hawks. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead. Young finds Teague. Capella with it. 6 to shoot. Young from outside. Gallinari with the rebound. Thunder trailing by 21. Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Remember the time, Doris, when it was rare to see stars changing teams? Now we read about it every day.
No question, Kevin. Think back to my formative years watching the NBA as a fan. Larry Bird was a Boston Celtic. Magic Johnson was a Los Angeles Laker. The trend in today's NBA is that shorter player contracts, more player control over where they want to be. And the reality is this, Kevin, at some point, free agency entered the equation. It's appropriate, it's fair, they've earned the right to choose where they play.
Here's Schroeder after the made shot from John Collins. And the shot goes in. 20 points for Dennis Schroeder.
I'll tell you, what a night. He has been efficient. He's been strong. Unfortunately, they're still fighting an uphill battle.
Young taking his time here. Over Gallinari. Again, the Hawks score.
And a depth mid-range shooter as well. All Young needs is a little breathing room, and he set the fire.
Now, here's Robertson. Defense is right there. That one drops for him. Schroeder's got 13 points here in the second half alone.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Passes it to Young. Back to Teague. And the rejection by Noel. And here is Gilgeous-Alexander. 11 feet away. Rebounded by the Hawks. Collins has got 6 rebounds in the game. Lob pass to Capella. And the dunk by Capella. And that's a double-double for him now. 11 points and 15 rebounds.
And the pass there floated it up to the precise spot it needed to be.
And no messing around on the finish. He powers it through. Now here's Noel. Ball's knocked loose. It's stolen by Capella. Young outside. Count it. Young's got 24 points.
And they're scoring much more efficiently here in the second half, and they've gotten that field goal percentage above 50.
Robertson kicks to Noel. Schroeder against Young. Back to Noel. The dish to Schroeder. Lays it up and banks it in. Schroeder's got 11 here in this quarter alone.
Well, individually, he is doing everything he can in this 12-minute session, but he's just not getting enough help.
Young drives in. He can't hit that time. Thunder trailing by 20. A floater. And it's Schroeder missing. Young with the ball. And there's the feed to Hunter. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
Now, how about the strength and focus on that one? It's clear Hunter up to the challenge at finishing on a physical defense.
Doris, basketball continues to gain in popularity around the world, doesn't it? It's amazing to me.
It does. Adam Silver, the commissioner, has said, I believe we can be the #1 spot in the world. Obviously, they'd have to overcome the soccer, and that's popularity. But think about this, Kevin, how inclusive a game basketball is. And the love spans across gender, race, ethnicity, religious affiliation. And the best part about the game of basketball is this, Kevin. When you're growing up and trying to get better, you need a ball, you need a hoop, and you need you, and you don't need anything else.
That is so well said. Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. Without question, Trae Young displaying his skills today.
And he's on fire from beyond the arc there. It's time to start shaping their game plan around stopping this long-range assault.
And so it's Schroeder with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Rebounded by the Hawks. Hiring college basketball coaches has been kind of hit or miss, Doris. Why do you think that's so?
Well, obviously, coaching in college and coaching in the NBA are drastically different things. As a college coach, you've got to be concerned about the eligibility of your young men. You've got to be recruiting the next crop, even while you're coaching your current group and your current roster. In the NBA, you get to focus exclusively on coaching. You're not talking about recruiting. You're not having to deal with anything other than grown men who have a desire for greatness in the NBA. And I think so much of it doesn't necessarily mean success or failure, whether you come from college or not. Success in the NBA is a multifaceted proposition. So I don't necessarily define it as, oh, this guy came from college, this guy came from the European leagues, this guy has been an NBA assistant. So many things go into it, Kev.
Here's Young. The Thunder making the shot. Collins passes to Young. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. It's going to be on Nerlens Noel.
You know, you can't be overzealous inside when you guard Young. You got to be better at contesting without fouling.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And that one falls for Young.
Just a bright, young offensive talent. Young isn't shy about forcing the action. Takes a lot of trips to the line.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hawks. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Collins. Carter comes in for Hunter. And it's Reddish in for Kevin Huerter. Steven Adams, he's checked in for the Thunder. Doris, when you look at the success of international players, and the league has a litany of very good international players, Doncic being the latest success story, is the perception changing about these kids when they come from overseas and play in the NBA?
Well, one of the greatest, and then to me, the greatest international player of all time, Dirk Nowitzki, a Hall of Fame player, probably changed the perception to start with. Now, listen, over the years, Luka is going to have perhaps a Hall of Fame career if he stays healthy. The reality is this: the NBA is looking for the best players to man those 15 roster spots of the 30 NBA teams. It doesn't matter where you're from, what the color of your skin is. If you can play the game of basketball and play it at the highest level, the NBA wants you to be a part of their league.
So here's Gallinari following the basket by Cam Reddish.
Listen, that's a look he can hit, but right now he can't throw it in the ocean.
And here's Young from the arc. Another three for Atlanta.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it, Greg? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone. I'll tell you, despite this guy's strong play in this period, they're still behind. Someone else has got to step up.
Lets it fly. But they'll get another chance. And it's Capella missing.
Boy, this guy is a good finisher, so he misses a chippy. That's tough to take.
And there's Schroeder. That's good. The assist from Robertson. Robertson's got 3 assists now in this one. Atlanta's gone 3 of 4 from downtown here in the fourth. Here's Reddish. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Reddish has got 4 points in the quarter. Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Schroeder kicks to Gallinari. Adams outside. He dishes it to Schroeder. Rebound by the Hawks. Capella's Atlanta's shooting has been great, up over 50%. In fact, 52%. Schroeder against Young. Dishes it to Capella. Carter outside. The tray. It's hauled in by Adams. Oklahoma City shooting 40% from the field. Robertson dishes to Adams. Schroeder against Young. Floats one up. Atlanta with the rebound. Here's Reddish. Dedmon in the high post. Young outside. Doris, all right, this is going to come out of the blue here, but if you had to choose between raising the height of the basket or widening the floor or even widening the lane, which would it be?
I have very strong feelings on this, Kevin, and for me it would be widening the floor. And the reason I say that is it feels to me in the last couple of years there are more sideline violations where teams are turning it over because they're trying to get to that corner three, one of the most advantageous, best shots in today's game. But because that three-point line is so close to the sideline out of bounds, we're seeing too many violations. So if I had to choose between one or the other, I would absolutely widen the floor.
Now, here's Dedmon. Back to Young. Carter outside. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. 30 points for Trae Young.
You gotta like seeing this from Young, wanting to prove he's more than just a jump shooter.
Here's Ferguson. No good that time. So the Hawks will take it the other way. Now here's Reddish. He's guarded by Diallo. Dedmon. And Dedmon throws it down.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Atlanta.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And so this is going to end up as victory number 24 on the year.
And you know, this is a win they wanted badly, guys. They did not want to get swept in the season series.
And as usual, some excellent work tonight in what was a quality big impact game for Clint Capella.
He just looked like an orchestrator out there. His teammates kept running to the open spot, and he found them time and time again.
Here's Burton following the basket by Trae Young. Here's Nader. Down low. Dedmon with the block. Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. The pass to Labissiere. And here is Dedmon. Here's Young. Drops in the layup for 2. Young's got 34.
And once they smelled blood in the water, you could see the killer instinct take over.
And you want to save your best for last. Tonight, they've done that and then some.
Here's Ferguson over Young. Ferguson misses. And so it's the Hawks taking care of business in this one. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you later.